Thank you for joining us on ERi-TV English News Broadcast, dear viewers. This is Heaven Johans, your news anchor for this session, inviting you to stay with us and presenting you with our local and international news for today, Monday, the 25th of November, 2024. Do stay tuned once again. Let's begin with the major headlines. Students' Week at Eritrea Secondary School. Capacity upgrading training for members of the Niger-EU. Niger calls for a replacement of EU ambassador amid aid dispute. And China launched 2 new satellites. In our domestic news, Students' Week was held at Eritrea Secondary School in Sawa under the theme, Our Objective, to nurture committed youth competent to bequeath values of the struggle for independence. The event was organized by the National Union of Eritrean Youth and Students branch in higher education institutions and Sawa in collaboration with the National Service Training Center. The coordinators of the program highlighted that the week, which featured educational, cultural, innovation and artistic competitions, took place from 21 to 23 November. It significantly contributed to both entertaining the students and identifying their talents. Mr. Kaseta Gebra-Aman, Head of Political and Organizational Affairs of the National Union of Eritrean Youth and Students branch, emphasized the importance of the event in enhancing the students' awareness and fostering their innovative creativity. He also underlined the vital role of the National Service Training Center and Eritrea Secondary School in this endeavor. Colonel Debesai Gide, commander of the National Service Training Center, noted that the various competitions among the students are growing and improving over time, reflecting their value within the regular educational program. During the closing event, awards were presented to the winners of the various competitions. The National Confederation of Eritrean Workers branch in the Sawa region provided capacity upgrading training to 30 members, focusing on administration and leadership. The training, conducted from 19 to 21 November, covered topics such as resolving labor disputes, preparing collective agreements, and understanding basic concepts of administration and leadership. Mr. Mikael Mebrahtu, chairman of the Workers' Federation, highlighted the importance of the training and encouraged the participants to deepen their understanding of the Confederation's laws to ensure timely resolution of labor disputes. Mr. Abraham Barghatab from the Central Office of the Confederation stressed the significance of understanding basic administration and leadership concepts to foster healthy labor relations. He urged the participants to apply the skills they learned in their workplaces. Mr. Ato Burhan Garat, head of the National Confederation of Eritrean Workers branch in Sawa region, called on workers to join the Confederation and benefit from its programs. A 6-month sign language training program was provided to government workers and students in Mandafera Southern region. Ms. Sila Burhana, chairperson of the National Association of the Deaf in the region, stated that the training aimed to expand the use of sign language to facilitate the daily lives of citizens with hearing impairments. The participants included government workers from the Ministries of Education, Health and Labor and Social Welfare, as well as exemplary students identified by the National Union of Eritrean Youth and Students branch in the region. Mr. Fanus Gadam from the Education Office emphasized the importance of sustaining such training programs to better support citizens with hearing impairments in their daily lives. This wraps up our domestic news for this session, dear viewers. We'll be back with the international ones after the short break. Welcome back. Niger's government has requested the European Union to replace its ambassador, Salvador Pinto da Franca, following tensions over the disbursement of emergency aid. The EU recalled its representative on Saturday after Niger's military rulers accused him of distributing €1.3 million in flood relief to NGOs without prior approval. The EU rejected the allegations, expressing profound disagreement. On Sunday, Niger's foreign ministry claimed the ambassador continued unauthorized operations despite warnings issued in October. In a statement, it said collaboration with the ambassador was no longer viable and requested his replacement as soon as possible. Flooding since June has killed over 300 people and displaced more than 1.1 million in Niger. The government stated it had not sought EU aid and would address the damage using its own resources. Relations between Niger and the EU have soared since the July 2023 military coup, with the country distancing itself from its former colonial power France and the European bloc. And our last news. China has launched 2 four-dimensional high-resolution satellites into space today. The 2 satellites, Suwei Gaojing 203 and Suwei Gaojing 204, were sent into their present orbit from the Jiuquan Satellite Launch Center in northwest China, on board a Long March 2C carrier rocket. It was the 547th flight mission of the Long March series rockets. With this, we conclude our News for this session. Dear viewers, time for a quick recap of the major headlines. Students week at Eritrea Secondary School. Capacity upgrading training for members of the NCEW. Niger calls for replacement of EU ambassador amid aid dispute. And China launched 2 new satellites into space. This was the World on ERi-TV, dear viewers. We thank you for joining us. Have a good night.